All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders, a great millstone, rule well, and peace and salutations to the house of David, the elect man pushing his truth and faith and sincerity. All right, this the brother Tazakah coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakah, Kadash. All right, all praises and honor due, I pray that this lesson is edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakah, Kadash. All right. And I want to entitle this lesson, We Gotta Be Good in the Clutch, man. All right. And I got this definition for being good in the clutch. It says in slang, here on Google, it says in slang, clutch refers to something done well in crucial situations. In a crucial situation. Yeah, because you got players in like sports, you know what I'm saying? Like Kobe, for example. You know what I'm saying? He's good in the clutch, man. He's a good clutch player. Or they'll say Kawhi Leonard, in basketball, if you brothers familiar with basketball, they'll say they're good clutch players. Or in football, like Tom Brady, you know, or Nick Foles. You know what I'm saying? Good players in the clutch, man. You know, which we have to have that same type of skill. You know, we have to have that same type of skill. We have to be good in the clutch, man, because that's what's most important. Because right now, is you could play good throughout the whole game, but when you get to the clutch moment, that's what really matters, man. All right, because you can go the whole game without scoring a point, but if you score that game-winning shot, all right, you did more than somebody who scored uh 40 or 50 points on the other team. Speaking in basketball terms, So it says in slang, clutch refers to something done well in crucial situations, such as a clutch play in sports that pushes a team into victory. More broadly, clutch can characterize something as excellent or effective. So it says a clutch, such as a clutch play in sports that pushes a team into victory. So that's what it's all about, getting that victory, man. And who does the victory come through? It comes through Yahweh Shah. Of course, it tell you about that in Isaiah 25. Tell you about that in Isaiah 25. How um basically we are you know he got the victory over death. I think I tell you about that in 1 Corinthians the 15th chapter 2. You know, matter of fact, let's get it. Mm, let's get it because I wanted to start there, but let's get it. Victory, Salakia, victory. Yep, Isaiah 25. Yep, and 1 Corinthians 15. This Isaiah chapter 25 in verse 8. It says he will swallow up death and victory. Yeah, so Yahweh Shah swallowed up death and victory. That's what he did when he was crucified, man. You know, when our Lord was crucified, he swallowed up death and victory, man. You know, he conquered death, man. You know, that's what our Lord did once he died for the nation of Israel, primarily the elect, which represents the nation of Israel on this side. You know, he swallowed up death and victory, so he was good in the clutch, man. All right, when the game was on the line, all right, he made that clutch shot. You know, and we're supposed to be followers of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Like Apostle Paul said, be ye followers of me as I am a follower of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. You know, it says he will swallow up death and victory, and the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushua will wipe away tears from all faces, and the rebuke of the people shall he take away from all of the earth. For the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua have spoken it. Yeah, and they're going to, like I was saying, you didn't score the whole game, okay, but you got to that clutch situation and you scored, okay. So there's like in semblance to getting your all those tears wiped away, all that sorrow put away from you, of your failures throughout the game. Why? Because you was good in the clutch, and that's what we have to be. We have to be good in the clutch. Let's go back door a little bit, try to get a little bit more on this word clutch. Okay, it says What does clutch mean? It says definition in the clutch. Salakia. Salak. You know, here we go. It says definition of in the clutch in a very important or critical situation, especially during a sports competition. He is known for his ability to come through in the clutch. You know, he is known for his ability to come through in the clutch, man. You know, so that's what it's about, man. Is especially in uh um a sports competition, which Apostle Paul compared this to sports. Let's get that real quick. Because this is in comparison. This truth is in comparison to a sport. Well, matter of fact, we can look up sport and see what that means. But let me just get this real quick. See how Apostle Paul made a correlation between sports and this truth. This First Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. It says, "Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain." Right. So that was parabolic. That was so to speak metaphorical. Apostle Paul was saying, "Run." So you may win the race, man. A race that would be a athletic event. So to speak, that would be like a sports. That would be a sports competition, man. It says, "And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible." So, it says, "I therefore so run not as uncertainly, so fight I not as one that beateth the air." Yes, so fight I as one that beateth not the air, man. So this is a comparison to like um uh a sport pretty much, because we're fighting and we're running, but we're doing it spiritually. We're not fighting in boxing matches or the UFC or something, mixed martial arts. Okay, we're not actually running the 400 so like the 400, the 100 dash meter, the 400, the 1600, these different races. We're not actually running these, we're not at a track meet or something. Okay, but spiritually, we are, and if someone's running the race, you could have gas all the way through the race. You could be running the whole race, but guess what? It's about who crank it up in that last leg and win it. It's about in a boxing match. You could be losing a whole boxing match, but if you get that knockout, you get that KO. You know, you got it. You was good in the clutch in the 12th round. You turned it up and went ahead and knocked them out. You know, that's being good in the clutch. Let's get this word sport though. Let's see what we get here. Sport. I'm just look it up in regular etymology. That word for sport. An activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. Let's jump down. It says the formal definition says a person who behaves in a good or specified way in response to teasing or defeat. That's not it. Let's go ahead. Let's see what we get in the Old English for sport. Sport, to take pleasure, to amuse oneself, divert, play, to seek, carry away. It says play, to seek, man. All right, to seek. There we go, right there. That's something that we can apply to this. What are we seeking? We are seeking the win. Through we're seeking the win. What's the win? The kingdom of heaven, man. All right, being granted those crowns, man. Being given those crowns of of glory, those crowns that fade not away, man. You know, how do we do that? How do we get that eternal glory? You know, by being good in the clutch. You know, because what it tell you in Matthew the 24th chapter, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. That endurance unto the end, that's that clutch factor. You know, it's having that clutch factor, and that's something that you can't teach. You know, you had to have that within you. You know, and Lord willing, we had that within us. You know, but jumping back up to this the first definition in its etymology on Google for sport, it says an activity involving physical exertion. And this activity that we're involved in involves spiritual exertion, which is physical as well, but it's damn sure mind over matter. You know, it's damn sure mind over muscle, and you know, spirit over body, and what we're involved in. You know, of course we have to partake in these fleshly bodies, you know, but our spiritual exertion is what we put in to this sport, you know, into this activity, you know, which is can be a spiritual sport, you know, competing for the Lord's grace and favor, you know, competing for salvation, man, you know, in a righteous manner, of course, you know. It says an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. But that's the thing about it, we're not doing it for entertainment. All right. We're competing for that crown that Yahweh Shai is gonna give all his men, you know. That's what we're competing for. You know, so this is in semblance for it, this truth, you know, is in semblance to um a sport, man. You know. Let's go here. Let's get some counts of being clutch, being good in the clutch. We're gonna get some counts. This is Matthew 26. This is what I want to start with. And 50. Salakia. Matthew 26. Bear with me, brothers. My phone not in the best shape. So, you know, we just gonna work with it though. This Matthew 26 in verse 50. It says, and Yahushua said unto him, friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua and took him. And this going into when those you know, those Roman centurions or those Roman soldiers, you know, those Roman policemen, so to speak, came to grab up our Lord Yahushua, you know. And when they came to grab him up, Yahushua, he didn't fold. He said, "For friend, from whence come thou?" Which he already knew what was up. You know, it says, and he that night before, you know, our Lord, you know, in the garden of Gethsemane, he prayed unto the heavenly Father Yahweh that he could take that cup away from him. You know, but Yahweh didn't answer him. You know, but Yahweh Shai didn't fold up though. He still went into it. He still went through what he had to go through, you know. It says, and behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. You know, so one of them, one of the disciples knew Yahushua already let them know what was up. Like, look, I'm gonna have to go out. You know, this is a part of the, you know, this is the part of prophecy. Salakia. This is the part of the prophecy. You know, I have to go out so all things can be fulfilled. You know, this is what Yahushua was pretty much, you know, teaching. You know, but this one, you know, he still drew his sword out and smote off the one of the high priests. I'm guessing that was one of the scribes and Pharisees. You know, one of the scribes and Pharisees, pretty much, could say chief priest. You know, if I'm not mistaken, you know, pretty much, you know, he smote off one of their ears. You know, trying to basically uh disappoint them, taking away Yahweh Shai, which, you know, he was doing it out of you know, probably a sincere place, but it was sincerely out of pocket, man. you know, and that wasn't a good move in the clutch. He didn't he missed the shot in the clutch when he did that, you know. It says th- then said Yahushua, verse 52, then said Yahushua unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Right, you know. So Yahushua, he stuck to the script, man. He stuck to the script. He stuck playing. He kept playing within the the game plan in the game design. You know, he kept on track. You know, that was having that clutch factor. You know, it says, thinkest that thou that I cannot pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels. You know, so Yahushua, even knowing this, you know, he kept his composure, knowing that he could easily take these folks out, man. Easily take these people out, you know, for coming at him. All right, but guess what? He knew that it was prophecy had to be fulfilled, you know, so he went through with that, you know. That was having that clutch factor. It says, but how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled? Right? That's what Yahushua knew. He knew the scriptures had to be fulfilled. That's having that clutch factor, man. It says that this it must be. In that same hour said Yahushua to the multitudes, or they come out as against a thief with swords and staffs for to take me. I said daily, yeah, Khan, yeah, Salak. It says, in that same hour said Yahushua to the multitudes, or ye come out as against a thief with swords and staffs for to take me. I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and ye laid no hold on me. But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all of the disciples forsook him and fled. Ooh! All the disciples forsook him and fled, man. You know, so they wasn't clutching in that pressure situation, man. You know, they wasn't clutching that pressure situation. You know, and guess what? Yahushua, he stood daily in the temples teaching. You know, against, you know, of course, the wicked scribes and Pharisees. You know, and the Sadducees. You know, these different other, so to speak, religious organizations of the Jews, you know, who always was disputing against our Lord Yahushua. He was daily teaching around them, man, and teaching to, you know, the multitude, you know, but no, although knowing that these Jews had envy against him and, you know, an evil eye against him, he continued to stay teaching and doing the will of the Heavenly Father. That was clutch within itself, you know. But the disciples in this moment, they didn't have that resolve. They didn't have that clutch factor, you know. It says all they that had laid hold of Yahushua led him away to Cephas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. So these were chief priests and high priests of the Sadducees and Pharisees. You know, I mean, Salakia, the scribes and Pharisees, I'm believing. You know, it says, but it says, and they had laid hold on Yahushua, led him away to Cephas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. You know, so Peter followed afar off, man. It says, now the chief priests and the elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahushua to put him to death. All right, so yeah, it was the chief priests and the elders, you know, of the scribes and the Pharisees, but found none. Yeah, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. At the last came two false witnesses. And oh my goodness, and said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of Yahweh and to build it in 3 days. And the high priest arose and said unto him, answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee? But Yahushua held his peace, carried that clutch factor, And the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living power that thou tell us whether thou be the Mashiach, the anointed, the son of Yahweh. Yahweh Shai said unto him, thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Woo! That's that clutch factor, man. All right, he held it down. He ain't fold up. He like, man, whatever you say. All right, but guess what? I'm the Messiah. All right, I'm the Messiah, and you gonna see after this day right here. You gonna see. You know, it says, then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, he have spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now ye have heard his blasphemy. What think ye? They answered and said, he is guilty of death. They then did they spit in his face, and buffeted him, and others smote. Let's get that word buffeted. Buffeted. Let's get that. I looked it up before. Let's see what we get on that. Buffeted. That's the Greek word that Esau said.
Strong's G 2852. Calafizo.
It says to strike with the fist, give one a blow with the fist. Whew. To maltreat, treat with violence and contumely. So they start throwing blows on Yahushua, man. They started throwing blows and probably punching him in the stomach, punching him in the temple, punching him in the lip, you know. It says, then did they spit in his face? Spit in his face, man. That's one of the most disrespectful things you could do, man. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palms of their hands, man. Oh, so they was slapping him, man. They was slapping him up, man. That's disrespectful too, man. You slapping up a full-grown man and spitting on him, man. That's wild, man. Saying, prophecy unto us, thou anointed, who is he that smote thee? Now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, thou also was with Yahushua of Galilee. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest. Wow. That was not cool, man. That was not clutch. It says, we, Lord willing, we can't be like this. We can't be like this. We didn't come this far to, when it get real, when the persecution comes, or when our life is on the line, when it's a heavy temptation in front of us for us to just fold up. That's not what we're doing this for. That's why we got to pray to the Heavenly Father. He keep a strong spirit on us, that we can endure temptation, like it said in 1 Corinthians the 10th chapter. But it says, now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, thou also was with Yahushua of Galilee. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest. And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, this fellow was also with Yahushua of Nazareth. And again he denied with an oath. Wow. Man, I do not know the man. And you don't supposed to just make no oaths out here. You don't supposed to be doing that. It says, and after a while came unto him they that stood by, and said to Peter, surely thou also art one of them, for thy speech bewrayeth thee. Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew. Woo-wee. Woo-wee. And Peter remembered the word of Yahushua, which said unto him, before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly. Damn. Damn, bro. He folded up, man. He was not good in the clutch, man. But you can see the comparisons of being good in the clutch and not being good in the clutch. Let's go here to the next chapter. Matthew 27 and verse 11. It says, And Yahushua stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, Art thou the king of the Jews? And Yahushua said unto him, Thou sayest, woo-wee. So he was brought before the chief governor who pretty much pretty much had dominion to put him to death or not, to bring charges against him. But Yahushua was like he was thou says, man, it's whatever. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. Then said Pilate unto him, Hearest thou not how many things they witness against thee? And he answered him to never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. Why? Because it's like hitting that 3-point shot from the half court with 2 men in your face, man. 2 or 3 men in your face with the clock about to go to 0 to win the game, man. You gonna marvel greatly at something like that. You're gonna be astonished. It says, now at the feast, now at that feast, the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would, and they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, Whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Yahushua, which is called the Messiah? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was sat down on the judgment seat, his wife said unto him, saying, Have thou nothing to do with that just man, for I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yahushua. The governor asked and said unto them, Whether of the twain will ye that I release unto you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate said unto them, What shall I do then to Yahushua, which is called the Messiah? They all said unto him, Let him be crucified. And the governor said, Why, what evil have he done? But they cried out the more, saying, Let him be crucified. When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. See ye to it. Then answered all the people and said, His blood be upon us and our children. This is wild. Then released he Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Yahushua, he delivered him up to be crucified. And what Yahushua, this whole time this was going on, he didn't. He just let it rock, man. He was just like, whatever, man. He knew he was innocent, but he just stayed down for the cause, man. That it don't get more clutch than that, man. That's why we gotta, that's why I tell you in 1 Peter 4:1. Well, let's get that real quick. One of my favorite scriptures. Let's get it. It's 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, Salat. Tell you my phone a little skeptical. Don't get it though. It's 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 1. For as much then as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, that was an example of that. Seeing here why these people just falsely accused him, bear false witness against him, knowing that he had done no wrong or no guile, and still just sat there and take it. That was an example of his sufferings, For us, that's what he did it for, It says, For as much then as a Mashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. So we had to have that same mind, that clutch factor, man. All right, knowing that, look, man, it ain't about putting up the most points per game, man. It's about it's about getting a W, man. Whatever it got to be. It ain't about what kind of stature or status I have. It's about winning the game. You know, it says, arm yourself likewise with the same mind, for he that have suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. You know, has ceased from sin, which means you cease from death. You know, cause sin brings forth death. The wages of sin are death, man. You know, so if you defeat sin, you know, you defeat death. You know, and you got to be clutched to defeat death. You know, let's go here to Isaiah 53. I just got a couple more. You know, it's out there, Isaiah 53:7, I believe. This Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 7. He was oppressed and was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. That was it right there in Matthew 26, Matthew the 26th and the 27th chapter, man. That was in semblance to him, you know, being oppressed and afflicted, but not opening up his mouth, man. You know, he was brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before the shearers dumb, so he opened not his mouth. You know, so that's man. Let's keep reading. It says he was taken from Salakia. He was taken from prison and from judgment. Who should declare his generation? For he was cut out of the land of the living. For the transgressions of my people was he stricken, and he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was there any deceit in his mouth, man. Clutch factor. You know, regardless of what was going on, he still held it down, man. Regardless of what kind of pressure, you know, was going on, he held it down. Let's get this. Daniel 6. See, I'm gonna just get to the point. Well, I'm gonna read a little bit, then I'm gonna just jump down. This Daniel chapter 6, verse 1. Salakia. Make sure I can do this right. I got my sword. Bear with me. This Daniel chapter 6 and verse 1. It says, it pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and the princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his power. Ooh. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. And the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute, and to make a firm decree, that whosoever shall ask a petition of any power or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, established this decree and signed the writing that established the decree, Salakia, and signed the writing that it be not changed, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open, and he in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his power, as he did aforetime. Yeah, he was like, man, I don't give a fuck, man. I don't care about no pressure. All right, the crowd, the fans screaming. All right, you know, the coach going crazy. You know, they got tight D on you, tight defense on you. You know, the clock winding down, you down by a few points. All right, look, I'm gonna keep doing my thing, man. I know how to get a W, you know. That was clutch, you know. It says, then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his power. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. Hast thou now signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any power or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which altereth not. Then answered they and said before the king that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh his petition 3 times a day. Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him, and he labored till he going down to the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men assembled unto the king and said unto the king, know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king establisheth may be changed. So they really was trying to, that was their pressure. That was their pressure coming up on Daniel, you know. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Yeah, so it don't get more clutch than this. You're in the lions' dens with lions, you know. Now the king spake unto Daniel, thy power whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting, neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came into the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living power, is thy power whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My power have sent his angel and have shut the lions' mouths, and they have not hurt me, for as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. Woo-wee! So Daniel got through in his lion's den, man. All right, he got through in a den with lions, bro. All right, and he didn't flip or fold all night long, man, with some lions, man. All right, what he do? What he get in there and do? Pray to his Lord. You think he want spooked, man? You think he want pressure on him? Okay, but what he did, he continued to keep his composure, you know, and believed upon his Lord. You know, matter of fact, let's get that word composure. You know, keep your composure, because that's a part of having a clutch factor. Composure. It's like you. Composure, the state or feeling of being calm and control of oneself. Yep. That's that clutch factor, being calm and keeping control of yourself regardless of what's going on, man. You know, the whole game on the line, man. You finna, like if you're in the playoffs, man, this game 7 in the NBA, this game 7. And, you know, you gotta win or you going home for the season. Your season's over with, man. All right. But guess what? You keep your composure and stay calm and win when it counts, man. That's that clutch factor, you know. That's that clutch factor, keeping your composure, you know. Let's go. I got what I got. Job. Let's get Job. Job 2:6. Yeah, this Job chapter 2 verse 6. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So Yahweh gave Satan dominion to go after Job, man. You know. So went Satan from forth from the presence of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. Whew. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal. And he sat down among the ashes. And then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and died. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive good at the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and shall we not receive evil? And all these did not Job sin with his lips, man. Clutch. All right. Because Satan hopped on his wife, man. Because Satan, it took away his children, took away his substance, smote him with boils, sent, different type of demons at him. And then Satan hopped on his wife, man, to try to get him to blaspheme the Heavenly Father, man, and throw away his faith. But what did Job do? He kept his integrity, man. He kept his composure, man. He was clutch. Matter of fact, let's get this word integrity in verse 9. Let's get that word. Retain thine integrity, because that's what he did. Integrity. Innocence.
Strong's H 8538.
Tama. It goes into innocence pretty much in the Strong's definition right here. So just like in a game winning situation, so to speak, having that clutch factor, you win the shot. I mean, you make the winning shot, or you make the winning, you get the victory. You've maintained your innocence, man. You've maintained your innocence. You can't bring no blame or no gal against you. Why? Because I won the game, man. I won the game. Regardless of whatever the hell you want to say, I made that game winning shot. I was good when it counted, man. All right, so I maintain my innocence. I maintain my integrity. Let's get this in Job 13 and 15. This Job chapter 13 verse 15. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. Yeah, so though, we getting beat by whatever amount of points, we're going to continue to play hard, man. We're going to continue to play hard, man. Regardless if it look like we are finna lose the game, we gonna ball. We're going to ball and we're going to get this W in the end, Now, this is the last account right here I got. This Genesis chapter 19 and verse 24. It says, Then the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord Yahweh out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Because the angels told Lot not to look back, not to look back for nothing in the city, So when Yahweh Bashem Yahushua rained the fire and the brimstone upon Sodom and Gomorrah, his wife, she wasn't clutch. She ain't had that clutch factor. She looked back, she got smoked. She lost the game. But what Lot do? He did what he had to do. He kept his composure, although fire and brimstone was coming down, and guess what? He escaped. He escaped. So I could read more on that, but that's the point. She became a pillar of salt, but she lost the game, and Lot, he escaped, Why? Because he had that clutch factor, So that's it, man. I pray through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This is edifying. I want to give our praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the house of David, the elect man pushing his truth and faith sincerity. Shalom to the elect.